afternoon. The state news. I am Adeniyi Adebayo. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has reiterated his resolve to guarantee fundamental human rights of citizens, just as he directed Commissioner for Children and Women Affairs to take up all cases of violence and abuse against women and children reported by the State Office of the National Human Rights Commission of Nigeria. The governor stated this while receiving the communique issued at the end of the 2023 16 days of activism on the elimination of violence against women and girls from commission in his office. Governor's office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilekun now completes the story.
Osun State Coordinator of National Human Rights Commission of Nigeria, Mrs. Nneka Anegbo, led members of the commission on a courtesy visit to the governor in his office to present the communique issued at the end of the 2023 16 days of activism on the elimination of violence against women and girls in Osun State. Presenting the communique, Mrs. Anegbo said the commission received over 500 complaints in the year 2023. According to her, 90% of the complaints bordered on violence against women and girls. She said the commission is working hard to ensure that violence against women and children are reduced to the barest minimum in the state. The state coordinator for the Human Rights Commission added that though the level of violence against women is relatively low in Osun compared to other states of the Federation, but emphasized that the cases of violence against women and children are serious issues confronting millions of Nigerians.
I'm also glad to say I'm proud of that, to say that Osun State was the only state that received the Executive Secretary's commendation on the platform, because every state applauds their activities. But seeing what our first state did, the Executive Secretary had to commend Osun State.
Responding, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke said the state government has a duty to support the commission, which he said performs a very critical role in the democratic setting. According to him, every move to protect the fundamental human rights of citizens should be supported by the government. He therefore assured that Osun State government will collaborate with the National Human Rights Commission in the state to enable it to operate smoothly without any form of hindrance.
Our government is based on due process and, of course, rule of law, transparency, accountability, and most importantly, the fear of God. I want you to reflect all this in your annual state report. Also, I encourage you to relate with my office to provide needed support for your operation.
The governor called on government at all levels to scale up their mechanisms for protection and promotion of human rights, saying human rights goes beyond the right to vote and be voted for, but right to enjoy all incentives for a good life.
Human rights is the foundation of the democratic system. Every effort to protect the human rights of the citizen should be supported. I came from a country where human rights are the reality of people's lives. Our government at all levels will do more to protect not just the political rights of our citizens, and also their economic rights.
He stressed that for a democratic society, the principles of fairness, justice, equity, rule of law, and the fear of God must be taken as sacrosanct if government is genuinely committed to serving the people. Senator Adeleke urged the Commission to factor in the compliance ratings of the aforementioned principles in their annual report, just as he called for a synergy between the office and the agency. High point of the visit was the presentation of a communique to the governor by the state coordinator. It has been Abdurrahim Adekilekun reporting.
Governor Ademola Adeleke has called on the state command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense to maintain a cordial relationship with the citizenry for the improvement of security architecture. The governor made the call when playing host to the new state commandant of the NSCDC, Dr. Michael Adaralewa, in his office. Governor's office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilekun has more.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke commended the security agencies in the state for working round the clock to ensure that the state remains the most peaceful in Nigeria. Senator Adeleke said he just announced the establishment of Security Trust Fund to ensure that security agencies in the state are better equipped for effective policing and intelligence gathering with a view to combating crime anywhere, anytime. He called on the Nigerian security and civil defense to double their efforts to promote peace and security to enable all commercial banks that closed their branches in Ikirun and other places confidently reopen for business. This, he said, will go a long way in easing the stress of the people in such areas and promote the economy of such areas, while saluting the resilience of the NSCDC in promoting national assets and critical infrastructure. The governor called on them to be polite in their approach. He lauded the plans by the commandant to address the lingering crisis between farmers and herders in the state, saying that state government will support any move to engender lasting peace and cordial relationship in this regard.
Thank you so much, and I want you to please don't relent. Just because they say Osun is peaceful and you go to sleep, no, you must keep working. So that all the banks that have been closed, like Ikirun and some other places, so that they can have a peace of mind, so that they can reopen their banks. Station all your men over there, go to Ikirun and some other towns that because of all these bandits and robbers, they close their bank. Go there and tell them that a new sheriff is in town.
Earlier in his remarks, the state commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense, Dr. Michael Adaralewa, saluted the efforts of Governor Ademola Adeleke in securing Osun State. Dr. Adaralewa said the command is ever ready to combat crime and tactically nip the crisis of farmers and herders in the bud. He therefore called on the state government to allocate lands in strategic places where NSCDC Rangers will be stationed 24/7. The commandant, who was recently deployed from Oyo State to Osun, said he is ready to key into the already existing security architecture in the state for effective collaborations with other security agencies.
Osun remain one of the safest states in Nigeria, one of the peaceful states in Nigeria, and as such, I'm here, Your Excellency, to strengthen this, to make it better, to making sure that I work assiduously in tandem with our core mandates in the area of protection of critical national assets and infrastructure, in the area of covering and making sure vandalism comes to a zero level in Osun State.
Dr. Adalewa was accompanied on the visit by top-ranking officers of the Osun State Command of NSCDC, who presented a plaque as a sign of commitment and loyalty to the governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke. It has been Abdurrahim Adekileku reporting.
A 2-year-old girl has been rescued from an unsound mother at Oje Market, Ede. This is contained in a press release by the Commissioner, Ministry of Women, Children and Social Affairs, Chief Ayobola Awolowo, and the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Abimbola Babatunde. The release adds that efforts by the police and social workers at Ede Zonal Office to locate the relative of the unsound mother of the girl yielded no results. This statement enjoins members of the public to assist with any relevant information that could possibly lead to the location of the relations of the mother. And that ends the state news on OSBC TV. Join us at 5 for the evening news. Good afternoon.